And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host, Zack Nunez, and I'm here. You just held up. You just held up 2 and then 10. That's what you just held up, Josh. Good job. I'm here with, with with two of my co-hosts.
Hey, I'm Josh.
I'm Mark.
We don't know where the hell Austin is. He hasn't
Could be
responded.
dead.
So he could be dead, I guess. Wherever he is, we hope he's doing all right. We're talking about Star Wars today, so I'm sure it's something that he would be a buzzkill on anyways. I'd be frank here. If I had to take a guess, Josh, I know you watched all the Star Wars movies with Austin a couple years ago, right?
I think the original 6, yeah.
Okay. And if I had to take a guess, I would say he was not really that much of a fan of them.
I'd guess 3 was his favorite. Most recent, and probably most action filled for him.
It's also a good movie, so
Yes.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's not into the whole. Yeah.
So, anyways, today's May 4th, so we're gonna do that stupid thing.
Get out there, suck a titty, just feel good.
Bingo. All right, but before that, we're gonna do trivia.
Woo!
And then before that, we are going to say a couple things about our Twitter and our YouTube. So make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. That's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. And then on the YouTube side, thank you everybody for coming out last Thursday to our draft stream. That was a lot of fun. We've gotten some good engagement on that as well. So we'll definitely be doing some live streams at some point. We have nothing planned. We're very off the cuff here at the Hot Stove Podcast, but we will absolutely do some more stuff like that over the summer, whether it be an instance where we can all get in person again or even streaming from Zoom here while watching or doing something. Yeah. So thanks for coming out. It was a lot of fun. We'll definitely do something like that again. But in terms of here on YouTube, make sure to smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, smash the notification bell as well, and make sure to leave a comment if you feel like commenting. So that is all of that housekeeping there. Before Mark and I get into our trivia questions today, there are a couple things to catch up on in terms of scoring. So after trivia and Guess That College, which went terribly during the draft show.
It always does. I don't get why we still play it.
Well, occasionally I thought it's easier with basketball. Like football is the hard one to do.
That's fair.
The problem is we've done Guess That College with basketball a couple times at this point, so I'm like running out to talk about.
When in doubt, Purdue.
Yeah. Well, we will definitely. What we will bring back at some point is player or poser, because that game went a lot better.
That was very fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That was a fun game.
All right, so we'll just catch up on our trivia scores at the moment. Mark is in first place with 89 points. Josh is in second with 75. Austin is in third with 67. I'm bringing up the rear with 41 at the moment. Josh and Austin have some ground to make up here on Mark. It's a long year. We just started May. We got 8 more months to go before we crown a 2021 Hot Stove Trivia Champion. So
what is that? Is it the Major League logo?
Yes, it is.
I thought that's what that was.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
All right.
Pretty sick Hawaiian.
Mark, why don't you ask your trivia question first to start us off?
I've got a college baseball question. And it's a rather simple one. It's not a deep cut who the all-time leader in stolen bases in a year for college baseball. Now, it's which program has the highest winning percentage?
Of starters in the majors, you mean?
No, which college baseball program just has the highest winning percentage?
Okay.
Ever?
Okay.
Coastal Carolina?
No.
Florida.
No, but you're on the right track.
LSU.
No.
And then is it Vandy?
FSU?
How is it not Vandy?
It's not Vandy.
You said I was
FSU?
on.
Yeah, it's Florida State.
And it's was like, yeah.
My hit was going to be a professional athlete that doesn't play baseball went here.
That is so nondescript.
Jameis Winston.
I know,
famously-
but there are players in probably all leagues that went to Florida State.
Well, I meant played baseball at Florida State.
Did he?
Yeah, he was the closer.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, he threw nasty
Following in the
92
footsteps
mile
of
an hour
Cole
cutter.
Chapman
He was filthy.
being closers and shit humans. So,
Huh.
all right. Well, I gotta go. In the meantime, I gotta go drop Tyrese Halliburton in our basketball league because he is out for the rest of the season. So,
What happened?
hurt his knee. They're already out of the playoffs.
Oh, was that hyperextension the other night?
Yeah.
Dude, that was brutal.
Was
And
it? I didn't see it.
it looked bad. Like he was just doing a dribble move like behind the back, and you see his left leg just fully like lock up, just full hyperextension.
It says there shouldn't be, or let me see if I can find the Bleacher Report post now. There's no ligament damage, but he'll be out the rest of the season.
He's just a solid rookie campaign too.
Huh?
Solid rookie campaign too.
Fantastic rookie campaign. Yeah. Won't require surgery. He should be fully healthy by the time training camp starts or whatever.
You're a lucky bastard, by the way. In this basketball league, Miles Bridges out for the championship final for me. That's a big loss for me. Miles
Yeah.
playing out of his mind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dealing with possible shutdowns from every which way when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, Kyle Lowry, and Christian Wood. So we'll see. It's looking rough for the team right now, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about the results next week. So our fantasy basketball league is wrapping up this week. Josh and I are playing each other in the finals, so we'll talk about that matchup on next week's show. But let's get into my trivia questions here. I got 5 to ask for the day. We'll start with the baseball questions, and we'll start with the easiest one. I saw this stat on Sunday Night Baseball a couple weeks ago. I just want you to tell me let me see how many players I have here. 1, 2, 3. Who are the top 9 players? I had to count it, and then I realized that I wrote top 9 in the question. So,
Attaboy.
Yeah. Who are the top 9 players all time in WAR per 162 games?
Can I clarify? This is baseball.
Yes.
WAR is like a defensive-ish stat, right?
It
War
takes
is an
everything
overall
into
stat.
consideration. It's like one number. How good are you at everything?
It's
Okay.
wins above replacement.
Okay, 9. Oh, okay. I get it. 9 best ever.
Yes. Per 162 games. Per 162 games. Who averages the most WAR season over season?
The stat is also retroactive, Josh. So this goes back the entire way.
Yeah.
Okay.
WAR's been
I'll
counted.
steal one of your guys then. I'll say Ted Williams.
Ted Williams is one of them. Yes. Is 8.6 WAR per 162.
Bonds.
Barry Bonds 8.8. Yes.
Hank Aaron.
Babe Ruth is number 1 at 10.5. Hank Aaron is not on the list.
Ooh.
Mantle.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout is second at 9.7.
Jesus.
Mickey Mantle is not on the list.
Oh. Willie Mays.
Willie Mays has 8.5.
It's great timing to do my Legends draft, by the way. It was great timing to do this yesterday.
You're missing 4. 4 left.
Okay.
One of them is a current player.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts is at 8.7. You're correct, Mark.
3 left to go. Let's say Pudge.
Incorrect.
You love guessing Pudge Rodriguez.
It's my guy.
Let me look up these guys so I can make sure I know how long ago when they played and whatnot.
Oh, wait, Ken Griffey Jr.?
No.
He got hurt too much.
Oh.
That's things I'm trying to think long careers, a lot of WAR. You said they're all position players?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm looking at it. One of them is an infielder.
A-Rod?
No. Think older than that.
Mike Schmidt.
No.
Uh,
So we have a middle infielder, a first baseman, and a outfielder.
Joe Morgan.
No.
that's a great guess.
Before I say, yeah, think older than that.
Older than Joe Morgan.
Older than Joe Morgan?
Yes. You said
Okay.
that war is
Oh,
retroactive.
fuck. Good luck, Mark. Good luck, Mark.
Hold on. For the middle infielder, older than Joe Morgan.
Jackie Robinson.
No.
Are-
Pee-wee Reese.
No, not Pee Wee Reese. Are all three of them older than Joe Morgan?
Yes.
Okay.
All three of them played at roughly the same time.
Wait, when the fuck did
So-
Joe Morgan?
Cobb.
Ty Cobb is at 8.1, correct?
Honus Wagner.
No.
Rogers Hornsby.
That is correct. Is at 9.1.
And you said first baseman was the last one?
Yeah,
Gehrig?
correct, Mark. Lou Gehrig is at 8.
Jesus Christ.
As well. You know, I said old for a reason.
Gehrig should have been the one I should have got. I mean, honestly, out of that list there,
Those guys played in the pre-World Series days, with the exception of Rogers Hornsby.
in
Not
in those last three that Mark went on a run there, I should have had Gehrig.
All right, not Gehrig either. Sorry. Ty Cobb played in like 1906.
Yeah.
All right, that was that. Next one is the one I was telling Mark. Actually, we'll do the difficult one first. I want you to name me the top 4 middle infielders in ISO this year.
What is that?
It's I don't remember how they actually calculate the stat. Is it slugging percentage minus batting average?
Let me see. It's a power related stat. I know that for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so who's got the most power from the middle infield? Ryan McMahon.
Correct. Ryan McMahon is on that list. Yes.
Tatis.
Incorrect.
Bogarts.
No. ISO measures raw power by only taking in extra base hits.
Eduardo Escobar.
Also correct, Josh.
Oh wow.
Fantasy team. Both of them are on my fantasy team.
Okay.
This is a great stat.
Nick Solak.
Mark, you're correct. Nick
Fantasy
Solak,
team.
264
Your
ISO.
fantasy- Nice. Look, we got power. Team power in the middle. We'll keep. I just only guess fantasy team. Didi.
No. I will say this player is a shortstop. The remaining player.
What
Bo-
shortstops are good use?
Not Bo Bichette.
Tim Anderson?
Nope.
Not enough power. Corey Seager.
Not Corey Seager. Josh, were you about to
Carlos Correa.
Also not Correa.
Oh, I thought Corey Seager was a lock. God damn.
He hasn't been too hot so far this year. He's only hitting like 260 right now.
It's not Francisco Lindor, I can tell you that much.
No, it is not.
Stinky poo poo Mets. I'm just going by division. I'm just trying to think of shortstops out there. I don't know enough shorts.
Crawford.
No, it's not Brandon Crawford.
Brandon Lowe
Also not Brandon Lowe.
Second base.
plays everywhere, right?
Shit.
No.
I'd tell you a thing about this guy's stats, but it would absolutely give it away. So I can't. Never mind.
It's not Dansby Swanson. It's not. Well, is it someone on a bad team?
I'll go look at the standings. Because I couldn't actually tell you whether or not the team is good.
Javier Baez.
Not Javi Baez. That's a good guess though, because even though he's only hitting like 220, he seems to only be hitting home runs. So
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're
Trey
one
Turner?
game below 500 right now. What'd you say, Mark?
Trey Turner.
Correct. Trey Turner is the other one. Trey Turner, the thing about his stats that I was gonna say, he's on like a 36 homer, 40 steal pace right now.
Yeah.
Obviously that won't, in theory, that won't keep up, but who knows, right?
Good.
Yeah. So the top 4 middle infielders in ISO this year are Trey Turner, Eduardo Escobar, Ryan McMahon, and Nick Solak.
Eduardo Escobar is a great pull. I never would have guessed him.
Oh, he was off to a screaming hot start this season.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I hadn't drafted him, I wouldn't even know he was in the league. Just said his name, I would have been who?
Dude, I remember that
He's
2019, you helped me win my fantasy championship. It was the year that he hit like 60 doubles or something like that.
Yeah, he had a
Jesus.
great year a couple years ago.
Yeah, he hit like 35 home runs, had like 60 doubles or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he had an insane year.
Yeah. All right. I have one more baseball question before we move on to the other sports that I have questions for. This one was the one that I was telling Mark about that was on the Yankees broadcast the other day when they were playing the Tigers. This is a Miguel Cabrera related question. So Miguel Cabrera was traded from the Marlins to the Tigers in 2007, before the start of the 2008 season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me the 2 other active players who were involved in that deal.
Is Cameron Maben active?
Cameron Maben is active. He's at the Cubs alternate site. So
Yep. Okay. And
the other one is on a major league roster.
Justin Upton?
No. He's a pitcher. I'll tell you that much.
Oliver Perez?
Not Oliver Perez. So my other hint was that it was going to be that both Cameron Maben and this one player have one more thing in common than being part of that deal. They've both played for the Yankees since then.
Cameron?
Yeah, he played for the Yankees like 2 years ago.
yeah.
More you know.
God, I'm trying to think of that trade. The one I know Josh Johnson was a part of that trade, but I also know it's not him.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
He used to be a pitcher for the Marlins. He was really good for a couple of years.
He was.
But he's not active anymore. He retired. He had shoulder problems. Is he a starter or reliever?
He's a reliever.
Mark Melancon.
Melanson?
Yeah.
Mark Melancon.
Yeah.
It's not him. I will say this player that I'm talking about has played for 7 teams in his major league career.
God damn.
Yankees relief pitchers.
He did play for the Yankees. That's true. He does not currently play for the Yankees.
Is he currently a Met?
No, it's not Dylan Betances.
I don't know how old that guy is. He could be 25. He could be 43.
Not old enough to be a part of that trade.
He is old, though.
Dude, I got nothing. I'm just throwing out names here. I'm going to give Mark a chance.
I
actually have no clue.
You said 7 teams?
Yeah.
Andrew Miller?
Mark, you are correct. Andrew Miller is the other player that was involved in that deal.
How old is Andrew Miller?
36.
He's like 36.
Oh!
Both him and Cameron Maben were going into their second year in the majors in 2008 when they were traded. And they have both played for the Yankees since then.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I feel like that trade just happened earlier than that even. But obviously not. For some reason, I just remember, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it happened in like 2005.
Mark, congratulations. You've reached the 100-point mark on the year. Josh also reached the 80-point mark on the year as well. So there we go. Some milestones here. Next one is a basketball question. So the record for most consecutive, you're going to have to follow me with this one because the way I'm going to word it is probably going to be confusing. The record for most consecutive years with 100 steals is 13, held by 2 people, John Stockton and Gary Payton.
Mm-hmm.
The next highest is 8, held by 8 consecutive years of 100 plus steals. Held by 2 current NBA players. I want you to name those 2 players.
Chris Paul.
Incorrect.
Kawhi.
Nope.
Has he been in the league 8 years? He has, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had an injury shortened season that.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about that 1 year where.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about this guy, and he doesn't steal enough to do this.
Russell Westbrook.
No. I will say the only reason that I have this is because one of these 2 players just reached 100 steals
Today.
for the 8th consecutive year 2 days ago. The other one is not a current streak.
Oh,
But he's active.
He is active.
Dwight Howard.
No.
I mean, 100 really isn't all that many.
Well, you still got to average more than 1 a game.
Seasons is a lot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's but it's only slightly more than 1 a game.
Yeah. Yes.
LeBron.
Nope.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler reached his 8th consecutive season with 100 steals on Saturday.
Okay.
Yep.
So then
Or
the
maybe it
other
was Sunday.
player is currently not in his active streak.
Correct. His streak will end this year. He reached his 8th season last year.
His streak will end. Maybe injury. Maybe it's a good defensive player who's been hurt a little bit this year. Maybe it's Anthony Davis.
It's not. No. I will tell you this player is not necessarily seen as a defensive player. But he did have 8 straight seasons of 100 plus steals.
Paul George.
Nope.
LeBron.
I already said that.
And
Oh,
no.
did you? Okay. I was. It seemed he's just a hustle player. Young kid. Maybe he got out there. Who knows?
Carmelo Anthony.
No.
I mean, we know. Yeah, he said he's not seen as a defensive player, but give me a break. Come on, kid. D Rose.
Nope.
That would have been a lot. 8 straight at any point. With his injuries, Jesus, what was I thinking?
This player has also racked up some hardware during that time as well.
Ooh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, dog. I see.
AD.
Nope.
Steph?
Nope. It's a good guess though.
Dude, that dude just keeps balling. He go 40 tonight. If you get 40 again tonight,
I don't know.
30. I thought he was at 37 and like the 4th started. And just
He got 30. He finished with 37.
damn. Okay, he went cold in the 4th.
Coincidentally, Steph had 3 steals tonight.
Racked up some hardware. So he was a Cav, a Heat player, or a Warrior.
I didn't necessarily say it was a champion.
Yeah, it could be MVP.
It could be
Giannis.
Oh, that's...
Giannis.
Nope. I remember his streak ran from 2012 to 2020. Still reached 100 steals in the abbreviated 2020 season.
did. Okay, so this dude's a baller. Want to play hard. Can we get is like a front court, back court? Can we just tell that?
Backcourt.
Back court?
Yep.
Okay. There goes one of my guesses. you say his name earlier tonight? Is he on your fantasy team?
He's not on my fantasy team, and we have not mentioned him.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
not Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh yeah, I guess Kyle Lowry.
No, it is not Kyle Lowry.
That would have been a good guess.
This is a tough one. Butler kind of came to me pretty easily.
Yeah.
It was definitely just a lockdown defender who's just been good for a while. So that makes sense. Backcourt guy. Who died this year.
He did not die.
He
didn't die.
Who was like really influential? Now he's Dookie Cheeks.
DeMar DeRozan.
No.
Kyrie Irving?
Nope.
He wasn't in the league in 2012.
Was he? Oh, that was his senior year at Duke, right? Wasn't that a senior? Or well, his
whatever year he was.
Freshman year.
Yeah, sorry. His last year. Damn, dude, this is pretty nauseating. Just think about 2012. He's a good player, played well. Steals.
Kemba Walker.
Nope.
I'm just.
You're just throwing out offensive specialty now.
I'm just throwing out guards. I'm just throwing out guards.
I get it.
That long.
What hardware has Kemba Walker collected?
I forgot about the hardware.
When did that dude come in? Do a little look up here.
When did that dude?
When did his playing career start? Oh, I'm gonna guess someone.
Okay.
Damian Lillard?
No.
Damn. I thought I really pulled one there.
Big Weber State guy.
I got nothing. I can't think.
Can I get like a conference? Would that be too much? You think? Too much to think, Mark?
I'll even tell you what conference he played college basketball in. Played college basketball in the Pac-12.
And I didn't hear what conference you said he plays in now.
Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference guard from the Pac-12.
Yep.
I mean, he's putting it on a platter for us, Josh.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me just go look up the Eastern Conference. So look up some teams. 12. Nope. Sheesh, dog. Who are you trying to get me to say, dude?
I mean, that just screams Russell Westbrook, but we already said that.
It is not Russell Westbrook.
Trying to think of like older-ish guards who can still ball, kinda. Who the hell? Oh, Jesus Christ! This is really embarrassing.
James Harden?
Mark, it's James Harden.
Oh my God, dude!
Fucking air.
Pathetic.
James Harden.
Oh, we're idiots.
From 2012 to 2020, he had 8 consecutive seasons of 100 steals.
Honestly, I had no clue. I would have never guessed James Harden.
Hardware,
I wouldn't have
won an MVP, couple scoring titles. Yeah, dude.
That's where I had to make up my ground on Mark. So we split on 2 questions, and then another one, Mark got like 8 more freaking points.
All right. Well, this last one, unfortunately, only has one answer to it. It's a football question about the 2020 season, so you don't have to dig too far back.
Luke Kuechly.
Last year, Miles Sanders was one of 2 running backs with at least 50 targets and 0 receiving touchdowns. Who was the other one?
That's a fun stat. That's fun.
Derrick Henry.
No, he did. I don't think he got to 50 targets. And also, he scored receiving touchdowns.
James Robinson.
No, Derrick Henry's good for one 75-yard receiving touchdown a year.
I don't know that Chase Edmonds?
Nope. I mean, he's primarily a pass catcher, so.
Yeah, I assume you probably would have gotten him.
Devin Singletary.
What'd you say, Mark?
Devin Singletary.
Mark, you're correct. Devin Singletary had 52 targets and 0 receiving touchdowns last year. Same with Miles Sanders. They both had 52 targets and no touchdowns. So
that makes me happy.
I owned both of them on my fantasy team, so that's probably.
My next thing I was going to say was going to be like off rip. It's an AFC running back, so we're not wasting our time here.
That's fair.
So we don't have another James Harden situation. It's
that's
that
embarrassing.
question, and like for some reason the answer was like Saquon Barkley had he played a full season. Just like or some
That's
reason,
kind of
some reason the answer was Alvin Kamara, and you couldn't come up with it. That's what the James Harden question was.
If you hadn't said Pac-12, I never would have guessed James Harden.
I was staring at the Eastern Conference leaderboards. I went through the first 4 teams before you even said it. I saw the Nets, and I just laughed.
I was staring at the Pac-12. I was like, all right, what are our options here?
Well, you played for Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. That's it for trivia today. Instead of doing another sports talk, we're going to talk Star Wars because it's May 4th. So before we started recording, the three of us, apparently Mark knows it from memory because he's a loser. The three of us wrote down our rankings of the Star Wars films, and we're just going to talk about them and probably get contentious with it. We're going to start with the shit list. We'll start at number 11 here. We're talking about the main 11 films in the Star Wars canon. So not the Clone Wars film, although it might rank closer to the middle of the pack than I'd like to admit. But maybe that's just an indictment on some of the lower half of Star Wars films.
Yeah, it certainly is.
The Clone Wars movie was pretty good, if I remember correctly.
It isn't.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I rewatched it like over the summer. I rewatched all of the Clone Wars over the summer, including the movie, in preparation for the new season. And I was like, wow, this movie is not as good as I remember it being. Ahsoka was much more annoying when she was introduced than I remember.
Interesting. I still haven't. I haven't watched it since I was like a kid, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so we're gonna start at number 11. What is everybody's pick for the worst Star Wars movie?
It's Attack of the Clones, and it's not close.
I tend to agree with Mark that it's Attack of the Clones. It's not close.
Is that true? Like, is it just like well known that that's a bad movie?
That movie fucking sucks, dude.
To me, there's not a single redeeming quality about Attack of the Clones.
There's one in it for me. I like the Battle of Geonosis. The big arena fight with all the Jedi and all the battle droids. I think it's
I think that one has the advantage for me of like I've watched that the most out of the original trilogy. I think going back to
original trilogy
of the prequel.
Yeah,
like I picked a different one. I based this off of which movie. If you gave me all 11, we're like, which one would you want to rewatch? This movie would be the last one on the list, and I didn't want to rewatch 6.
Attack of the Clones would be the one I would want to rewatch the least.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Did you just say Revenge of the Sith?
Return of the Jedi.
Oh, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think it's a hot take to put it at the bottom. I also don't like Return of the Jedi like a lot of people do.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's charming. It's easily my least favorite out of the original trilogy, but I wouldn't put it that low.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler for me, it's like middle of the pack for me.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I think it's kind of silly.
I like Ewoks.
That's fair. It's not even the Ewoks. It's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's kind of a whatever movie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like it because I love the characters so much and the characters are still good in the movie.
That's fair.
The rest of it, what happens in the movie, not particularly exciting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's number 10? Number 10.
Phantom Menace.
Woof.
I don't. I don't get. There was this whole with the sequel trilogy. People were like, the prequels are better than you remember. The first two certainly aren't. It. I will. Other Mark, his favorite Star Wars movie is Phantom Menace.
Well, also that is. I mean, what are we talking about?
And that's a take. That's
Mark-
certainly a take.
Mark is as big, if not bigger, of a Star Wars fan than I am. We're both
Little
massive
Annie?
Star Wars fans.
Is your friend a pedo? What's the deal here? What do we got? What are we talking
First of all,
Him and
First of
Padme,
all-
they both love children, you know?
it's racist.
That movie is
very
racist. That's true.
Wait,
Second of
what?
all, Padme is a pedophile.
You ever seen Greedo in that movie? I mean, Jesus, we're gonna talk about race?
Huh.
You mean Greedo's not in that one?
Oh, Watto, I meant.
But yeah, Watto. He's hey, I'm Watto. I'm Jewish. Like, dude,
Yeah, it's you go back and watch it. It's
they even gave him like a huge nose. Like, it was so spot on. That movie makes
Spot on, Mark. Spot on.
you know what I mean. They were really
spot on. Mark
hammering
was a
it
big
home,
fan.
like, oh, yeah.
Classic Jew.
Watto,
Bastard.
Watto's actually Mark's favorite character in the movie.
No, actually, that's funny you say that because friend of the show, Bernd Weisenberg.
Burn Weisberg.
I know. It's ironic. They're both really big
But
fans.
I love Star Wars. I really hate Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
This is why I was hesitant about doing this today, because with the sequel trilogy, it's become less and less fun to talk about Star Wars, to be honest with you. Not even because of the quality of the movies, because I still think overall the sequel trilogy is of better quality than the prequel trilogy.
Very much so.
I think on aggregate the movies are better, even
Yeah.
though spoiler alert, my number 10 is The Rise of Skywalker. I cannot stand it. And part of it is because of well, Mark knows that I'm the resident Last Jedi defender.
I've come around to that as well.
Yep.
But even so, the reason I don't like The Rise of Skywalker is because not only do I not think, like, in a vacuum, I don't really think it's that good of a movie, but what it meant for, not even just for the sequel trilogy, but for the rest of the Star Wars canon. Like, if you really think about it deeper than just the sequel trilogy, Rise of Skywalker nullifies the arc from the first 6 films.
Mhm.
The whole point was for Luke to be the chosen one, or for Anakin to be the chosen one. And you know, eventually he overtakes the Emperor and he saves his family and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The Emperor coming back, it retcons it. It like
They retconned the most influential trilogy in movie history.
it makes Anakin's entire arc meaningless having the Emperor come back. Not to mention the fact that it fucked up even what they were starting to do with the first 2 films of the sequel trilogy. But in terms of like the greater implications for the Star Wars universe, it just took it and gave it a big 2 middle fingers.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's a bad movie on top of it. So
Yeah, that one's shortly following, but I think my 10 and don't act crazy here, Mark, but yeah, if I just had to pick rewatch value, Solo is probably my 10. Like, I just wouldn't care to get back.
I get why people don't like it. I'm not going to sit here and rag on you for not liking Solo. I completely understand. I just thought it was fun and I enjoy it. Like,
I mean, sure. Do I like thinking about banging the main character for an entire movie? Yes. I love Emilia Clarke, but it's still not enough. There's hot people throughout all of Star Wars, and that just isn't enough to do it for me. So, but
Well,
that was my 10. Sorry.
my number 9 is Rise of Skywalker, and I've soured on this movie since it came out. I initially liked it because I had a lot of fun with it. It's one of those things, the theater experience, like, sort of heightened what I thought of the movie. I had a really good theater experience with The Rise of Skywalker, and I was with some of my best friends, and the theater was packed, and it was opening night, and it was a ton of fun. But as I've after time passed and I rewatched it, I was like, this movie's really stupid.
Maybe part of it because the reason that I never even had like that initial good experience with it, I didn't see it in the theaters. By the time the movie came out, I still kind of am just so burnt out on Star Wars discourse, even that like I wasn't. This is how you know it was bad. I wasn't really interested in seeing the movie when it came out. Like I eventually saw it, but like it should not be to the point where I'm like, I'll see it eventually.
Yeah, you were like Scorsese with the Marvel movies. You're over it.
Well,
That's what it was.
Scorsese is just being a boomer in that sense.
What love Marty? His take is terrible on that.
It's a bad. It's just a bad take. All right.
But yeah, I was initially rather high on Rise of Skywalker. Not like, I wasn't putting in the upper echelon of Star Wars movies, but I was like, this was fun. There's a lot of fun stuff in it, and it's just a lot of it's like an adventure and stuff like that. But so much of it doesn't work. So much of it is so goddamn stupid. And
Right.
I've dropped my score on it a good 25 points. Like,
Josh, was it also your number 9, Rise of Skywalker?
No, it is. Sorry. Have you seen? Sorry to interrupt. Have you seen new friend of the show Jeff Passan's new background that he's using for when he does like Sports Center clip-ins and stuff?
No, I haven't.
no.
He has like 4 albums behind him.
Huh?
It's the Pink Floyd Into the Wall, the Enter the Wu-Tang album, a Rage Against the Machine album, and then he's got some books, and it looks like an old school Atari chilling behind him. I think he's updated the background there.
Oh, he added an Atari to it.
Yeah.
When you were describing the albums, I was like, yeah, those have been there forever. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, is it the standard ones? For some reason I thought they were.
Yeah.
I bet.
Specifically, the Wu-Tang record and Evil Empire have been in there the entire time. Evil Empire, underrated. It's the second best Rage Against the Machine album. Fight me. All right.
I have 0 takes on Rage Against the Machine.
Well, you should get more. Great.
Killing in the Name of. That's it. That's all I know.
My number 9 is The Phantom Menace. This is about the point where there's really only 3 Star Wars movies that I actively dislike. And it's the first 2 that I mentioned in The Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace doesn't really have very many redeeming qualities for me either, except for Darth Maul. And I know it's like the cliche thing to be like, oh, the movie's boring. Darth Maul was good though. But I think Ray Park as Darth Maul was awesome. And
yeah. I like Qui-Gon too. I'll give it Qui-Gon as well. I think Qui-Gon's a cool Jedi character, and
I think the whole thing with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, like their chemistry is really good in the movie. But like you lose me when we introduce little Anakin and the pedophile woman and the Jew guy and the
Senate
and the wannabe black guy and Jar Jar Binks. That's the other thing behind the racism in the movie, is that Jar Jar. Ooh, yikes.
Well, and like Newt Gunray,
Yeah.
like they're very clearly supposed to be Chinese businessmen.
Yeah.
Like it's so much of it is like racially charged. And here's my thing with the prequels. George Lucas is on record saying these are kids' movies. What do kids love more than anything?
The original trilogy were kids' movies, but they were good, so he has no excuse. So
well, yeah, but they are kids. Star Wars is for kids. Like it really is. What do kids love more than anything? Politics,
racism,
like bitter racism. Yeah, it sounds like departed, blinded racism.
Racism and politics for a trilogy of movies that are directed at kids.
Yeah.
It's
a dumb excuse by George Lucas, because again, he's been on record saying the big thing that he saw when he made the original movies was an opportunity to sell toys to children. So we can't use the prequels are for kids. The originals were for kids.
Well, no, I was saying Star Wars in general is for kids.
No, I understand. I understand. I just think if he were to say that, that would be a terrible excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 8. It's number 8 for you guys.
For me, yeah, I'll go on this one. For me, this is where I probably start cutting into the prequels, because I do actually really like the prequels. But I'll go. I'm debating between 1 and 2, which one I like more. I know it's probably like really hard to think of in your minds. But I'll probably say
It's not particularly close between the two of them for me.
yeah, I'll say Attack of the Clones here. That'll be my 8. I've rewatched it too many times. Maybe I've just liked it, like worked it into me liking it, and I shouldn't like it as much. But
That certainly happens. Like it's
I think
nothing
that
or anything like that.
the Yoda and Dooku fight is really cool for me. In that, I don't know, I like it.
That I loved Attack of the Clones as a kid. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't love. I mean, it was the first Star Wars I ever owned was Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
Like, so I loved it as a kid. I rewatched it all the time. It's also the only one I will say is an objectively terrible movie. I think there's enough redeeming stuff in Rise of Skywalker and Phantom Menace to raise it above terrible. I think Attack of the Clones is a legitimately terrible movie that no one should ever watch. My number 8 is this is where we get it's just like I like the rest of these movies. So like the order for some of them is like, I won't have very many bad things to say about the rest of these. So this is where I put Solo. That said, I like it significantly more than the first 3 I said. So this isn't me being like, oh, Solo stinky poo poo. I'm the Solo defender here. It's just I think it's a really fun movie. It certainly has its flaws, like the fact it's the darkest movie ever filmed. You can never see anything that's going on at a single point in that movie. But I like it. I really like Alden Ehrenreich. I think Donald Glover is perfect. I mean, you couldn't cast a better Lando, in my opinion, if you need to recast him for a younger version. I thought he was awesome.
I was literally about to say, Billy D. Williams is pretty good though.
Well, Billy D. Williams is obviously perfect, and he is Lando, even in Rise of Sky. He was my favorite part of Rise of Skywalker, just seeing Billy D. Williams for like
Part of that
7 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Lando!"
Yeah,
So,
like
yeah,
that.
him and Chewie kicking ass was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was awesome to see him back, but it's just it reminds me in the best sense. It reminds me a lot of Indiana Jones. Obviously, the other Harrison Ford character. It's just a fun, heisty, gotta go get a thing. People are in our way. We gotta fight them movie. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I have Solo at 8 as well. And this is the rest of the last 8 movies for me are like broken up into 4 different tiers, basically. So 7 and 8, and we'll kind of get into it themselves, I guess. 7 and 8 are the spin-off movies that I think are total nothing burgers. 8 being Solo, which I have almost no opinion on, to be honest with you.
mm-hmm.
And I don't love the Indiana Jones comparison because at least to me, Indiana Jones has always been a lot more than just like, haha, fun adventure.
Well, no, but just like that aspect, that aspect I think is like, so it's similar enough in that regard where.
And then number 7 for me is Rogue One, which I've like warmed to just ever so slightly since it came out. I remember not liking it when it came out, and mostly because of a criticism that I still have of the movie is that like I don't give a single toss about any character in the movie, not one about any of them. Don't care. They didn't do enough to provide a story on literally any of the characters.
For Darth Vader, isn't it?
But like the last half an hour of the movie is really cool. The Vader stuff is really cool. Overall, it's a fun watch. It's a movie I can watch and not be upset about.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a Rogue One stan. I like it a lot actually, and I think I like Forrest Whitaker's character a lot in it.
Saw Gerrera is cool.
No, I don't. I've made many jokes about Saw Gerrera in my time.
Oh, I thought he was kind of sick. I thought he was sick. I think the blind Jedi was sick, and I like both of the 2 main characters. Like I don't know their names in the thing. I can't remember right now. But Diego Luna and
interesting. You don't remember?
That's Jin and Jin Urso.
I know Jin Urso, and I don't remember.
Why can't I think of Diego Luna? Getting his own show. Cassian Andor.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
My 7 saying that. By the way, this will clarify. Was it 8 or 7 when Chewbacca went down in the plane and still lived.
9.
Sorry, that's what I meant. 7, 8, or 9. That
It was 9.
Good. So my 7 is gonna be Phantom Menace. This is where it goes. I don't know what you're talking about, Padme being a pedophile. I mean,
He was 5.
and she was 7. Who cares? What are we talking about?
He was like 16.
And she saw something
He
good.
was royalty.
You're telling me you're a 5-year-old boy? Cute, sexy Padme.
Come over and tell the guys how Phantom Menace is your favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh,
Phantom Menace
Get it,
is a
Mark.
Star Wars movie. Period. Most
Period.
don't agree, but
Wow. That
Okay.
sounds like a you problem.
Explain
What-
your reasoning.
I love it. For what it
But
is.
what is it? The pod racing?
I mean, the pod racing's good. I think there's a lot of really good scenes, and I'm like probably in the minority who just really likes the story. I don't mind that it's really slow paced and all that. I'm fine with that. I like how you can see setting up for the Darth Vader thing and Palpatine's rise to power. I'm fine with that, and it has the fast pod racing and the great lightsaber fight with Darth Maul and everybody and that whole
I mean, there is an argument to be made that it lays a lot of the groundwork for the entire Star Wars universe in one movie.
Yeah, and I like that,
A
and
lot.
I'm fine without, not having all the craziness. Not to say that I think it's like a huge gap or anything. I like all the
Sure.
movies, except I have some issues with some of the sequels.
The
But-
newest sequels,
some
obviously.
issues is a bit of an understatement. We've been
Yeah.
talking about our issues with the sequels
You
here.
still haven't seen Rise of Skywalker though.
I still have not seen Rise of Skywalker.
To be fair, I mean, you should watch it just for. I want to say you should watch it just for the sense of finality. It doesn't give you a fucking sense of finality because it makes the whole thing not make any sense. It means nothing.
Yeah, it's not good. Plus, I don't know if I can handle Palpatine if he's not cackling every second about unlimited power. Like I need that in him, And if they're trying to make him like a real villain, I'm like, he's got to be all, you paid the price for your lack of vision, Luke. All that.
I've never heard anyone that can quote the prequels more than this guy, by the way.
I just quote
Exciting.
Palpatine all the time.
I know you do.
That's all I do.
I feel like Connor was actually freakishly good at quoting the prequels.
Connor and Brendan specifically really like the prequels as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told them that Phantom Menace was your favorite, and they were both like,
Well, Phantom Menace is my favorite. Then it's between 6 or 3 because I like both of those a
Yeah.
lot. And then just whichever one I didn't pick for them would be third of those two. So either 6 or either 3, and then either 6 or 3.
it boggles my mind that New Hope and Empire Strikes Back are not in your top 3.
I know.
No, those are 4 and 5, and then I'm not a fan of Attack of the Clones as much. No,
Yeah.
Doo-doo garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one is really.
the sand scene.
I put an 8, and that was still too high to most.
Yeah, like, yeah, we're just going through and ranking all of our Star Wars movies.
Yeah. So number 6.
I haven't said my 7 yet.
Oh, what's your 7?
It's Rogue One.
Okay. Well, the number 6.
For me, this actually has moved around quite a bit. For me, this is 6. I have Return of the Jedi here.
I'll say names here because I'm listing numbers and then you're gonna list numbers and it's gonna make no sense.
This is where I have Return of the Jedi. This has sort of moved around a little bit the past couple years. But I really like Return of the Jedi. I don't really have much bad to say about it outside of they took my favorite character and made him a bumbling idiot for the entire movie in Han Solo. They were just like, oh, he's got the carbonite sickness.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Yeah, that's my least favorite part of the movie. I think the end to the Anakin arc is great. I think the Luke stuff is awesome. Here's the thing. I like Boba Fett. Guy's a moron.
Yeah.
The guy's a complete idiot and dies in the most complete idiot way. Like it didn't die. but
You're right, he doesn't die in the most complete idiot way.
yeah, but
That's another
almost dies
fucking
in the most complete idiot way. And
That he's
then I
not
really
dead.
like how the Mandalorian was just like, oh yeah, this guy is cool. They just didn't do it right the first time. But yeah, I like Return of the Jedi. Like I said, I like Ewoks. Ewoks are cool.
Mark just saying it wished that we could have added the Mandalorian as a 12th, so that could have been my dead last. Because as you both know, I still haven't made it past episode 2. So I can't.
If it makes you
I
feel any
didn't
better,
know that.
if
Actually,
it makes you feel any better, still haven't watched it. Haven't even
I
started.
physically can't get myself to. I've been trying today. I did a find a new show. I finished Eastbound and Down, so I was like, I gotta find a new one. Refused to watch. I was on Disney Plus already because I watched the Cap Winter Soldier one. I couldn't.
Look, I'm sure that when I start watching it, I'll enjoy it. Like I know that it's going to be a show that I will like, and I haven't started watching it yet. And it's
Yeah.
part of my Star Wars burnout, to be honest.
that's awesome, dude. I love the Mandalorian. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
My 6 will be. This is where I'll go. Last Jedi here. I really liked it a lot. I think the first time I saw it, minus the Carrie Fisher.
Mary Poppins. Yeah.
Yes, minus that, I thought it was pretty sick. The Luke part was great. Kylo just full on anger. The scene, obviously, in the Emperor's or whatever you want to call it on the ship there.
Yeah, in Snoke's chamber. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I liked it. That'll be my 6.
Number 6 for me, and this starts the next tier, which is the black sheep of their respective trilogies. Number 6 for me is. Oh wait, no, this is not the black sheep of their respective trilogies. Sorry, that's the next tier up. Number 6 for me is the almost like the fine movies of their trilogies. One of them's not the worst. One of them is the worst of the trilogy, but not because it's bad. Anyways, number 6 is The Force Awakens. It's a movie that I've soured on a bit. Thank you, Rise of Skywalker, for that. Again, makes it seem nothing. Like it doesn't matter. You know, another thing that I think soured me on the whole sequel trilogy was that they spent the whole time treating Rey's past like this big secret. Like, we're 3 movies in, we're 6 hours into a film or into a story, and we're still finding things out about our main character.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand the decision to treat it like some big fucking mystery the whole time.
There was like too little of a peak for her.
Yeah.
I feel like we never got the full Rey until the
And it's
last.
just like,
minutes.
all right, cool, you're Palpatine's granddaughter. End of movie. What
Yes.
is that?
I completely
we
agree.
waste our fucking time for?
I'm gonna save my takes on that.
But anyways, Force Awakens, I think it's a movie similar to, and Return of the Jedi is number 5, and this is why I looped them together. I think in a vacuum, this is where I start making my in a vacuum cases. In a vacuum, both movies are a lot of fun. I enjoy them a lot. Return of the Jedi is my least favorite of the original trilogy. And The Force Awakens is my second favorite of the sequel trilogy. Both of them, I think, are similar in that they're fine movies. Yeah.
My number 5 would also be, or sorry, that was not your 5. My 5 is probably also Force Awakens. I love Force Awakens.
Did you say you're 6, Josh? We're on 6, aren't we?
Yeah.
He said 5.
Well, you said
Oh, he
I
let
said
off
6.
6 and then 5.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So that is my 6. Then wait, what else do I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on, you got it, guy.
I'm on 5. Am I not?
I don't know. What's your 6?
My 6 should have. My 7th was Last Jedi. One
Did
second.
you forget a movie?
No, wait 1 second. Let me count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 left. Am I an idiot? Maybe you go, Mark. You say you're 6 then.
I
thought-
said my 6.
Okay, then if Mark said his 6, then I was the last one to go, and Josh goes with his 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
First place.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. My 5 is Force Awakens. Jesus Christ. My 5 is Force Awakens. I liked it. It was spoiled for me, and I'm still bitter about that. The Han dying thing. Uh, yeah,
I
that's
will say also my favorite thing about the sequel trilogy is Kylo's arc. I think that was the one thing in the whole trilogy that was handled really, really, really well.
Yeah, it was.
Um, and the whole thing with Han, both in 7 and 9.
I was just the
That's
only
the other
problem.
redeeming quality to Episode 9 is
Yeah.
is Kylo's arc.
Yeah, I would have just
Um,
liked him to continue to be angry. Whatever.
my 5 is Revenge of the Sith. This movie's a lot of fun. It's easily the most fun of the prequels. I'll tell you that much. I think it gets saved by the first bit and the last bit. I think the space battle at the start is really cool, and I think the Mustafar Order 66 stuff is really cool. Everything in the middle, I think, is more okay. So I think it's like the bookends on this movie, the things that leave the most impression going out, I think, are pretty well executed, and that's why it's my 5. But
Yeah. Now I'll get into my number 4, and this starts the next tier, which is the dark horses of their respective trilogies. Number 4 is Revenge of the Sith for me. Revenge of the Sith actually has my favorite. To me, the time period that Revenge of the Sith encapsulates is the most interesting time period of Star Wars lore to me. With the whole Order 66 thing, and Order 66 to me is like the singular most fascinating event in Star Wars canon.
agreed.
I really like any sort of like extended lore stuff that also approaches it. Like I loved the game Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Fallen Order is awesome.
That game was
Sick.
awesome. It deals with that same time frame and whatnot. So I think part of it, like Mark said, it's a little, it drags in the middle. I think the stuff right after the space battle too, when Obi-Wan and Anakin get onto the what the hell, they're busting
Onto
through
the-
the drones on the Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Awesome.
think that stuff is still really cool.
I sort of group that in with the
Gotcha.
space battle. Like it's that entire section. Then there's like the Grievous on Utapau and Anakin spying on the Emperor and all that stuff. And then it's the Order 66 and Mustafar. It's really a movie in 3 sections for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my number 4.
I'll go. I'm just having a hard time because like I debate between 2 here, and it's like, can I really put a spin-off kind of thing in my top 3? And I think I can't. So I'll go Rogue One here at 4. I really like Rogue One. I think it has great rewatch value. And like if someone were like, "Hey, it's on," I'd probably watch. If you're like, "Hey, they're doing it on TNT tonight," I'd be like, "I'll tune in." Like it's that level of movie for me. So I like Rogue One a lot.
I think the last 35 minutes of Rogue One are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
up to that it drags a little bit. That's why I've got it lower. But I think the ending, I think that movie nails the ending.
That's fair. I definitely get Nunez's point. I mean, like, it is slow and it's with characters who you should care about because they influence the Star Wars
But
world.
they don't make any
Really,
effort
yeah.
for you to care about them.
Yes, the only reason they matter is because you know their importance to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're nobodies. They're
Mhm.
useless. So I mean, their deaths at the end.
I mean, it would be fine if they were interesting nobodies. Even.
come
Like,
on,
if they
the
were, like-
blind dude, the forces with me. I'm one with.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about him.
Yeah.
Like really, him and the dude with the big ass gun. Like those were my 2 favorite characters, and I wish I knew more about them. Other than one of them's blind and they're friends. That's
Yeah.
all you get from the movie.
That's right.
That's my problem with Rogue One, generally speaking.
My number 4 is The Last Jedi. And this goes into the fact that I hated The Last Jedi when I first saw it. I really did not like that movie. And it's taken me 4 years to come around and be like, oh no, that's actually good. I think that movie has very high highs and rather low lows. I think the what's it called, like Canto Bight, the casino planet.
Yeah.
I think that stuff drags way too long.
You know, it's funny. I was just about to argue with you and say I don't think the movie has low lows, but then I forgot about the Canto Bight stuff.
Yeah, the Canto Bight stuff.
Benicio del Toro's character, literally all of that could have been cut from the movie, and I would give it like an A. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I agree. I think that stuff's stupid, and I think the Leia stuff is stupid. But the rest of it, I really like.
So, like the kid that they spoof even at the end there, he's just useless, right?
That's just supposed to be useful if
Oh, if that guy was directing 9 still, right? And they replaced him.
Rian Johnson had like scripts and stuff ready for another trilogy of films that would have involved that kid.
He's going forward with it.
Look, man, this is why I think Star Wars, since Disney bought it, has been a fucking mess. Because this is the large problem I had, and Last Jedi is number 3 for me, for the reasons I've already discussed. I think, like I said, the Kylo stuff is some of the best stuff in the entire saga. I think what they did with Luke's character in that movie was fantastic. You know, I really do love The Last Jedi. Love the movie. It's one of the 3 Star Wars movies that I can say I legitimately love watching every time I watch it. But my problem with everything in Disney's version of Star Wars is that they didn't take the time to plan anything.
Yeah.
They just said, you know what? And look, in theory, doing 3 films with 3 different directors like they originally planned is a fine idea. A good idea, even. But doing that without having an idea of where the story's going was a recipe for disaster from day one.
Yes.
I know for certain that they let J.J. Abrams make The Force Awakens. And they said, you know what, Rian Johnson, take it in whatever direction you feel like. We don't know where this is going. You can make up where it's going. And then he made up where it's going. And then they had damage control the movie that ruins the entire saga. And like it just takes a massive dump all over the chest of Star Wars. Like it gives me such a headache, and that's why I like all of the discourse about it on the internet has been so ridiculously toxic. There's few people I hate more than Star Wars fans generally.
Agreed.
With the exception of Yankees fans and Celtics fans. Celtics fans suck. Don't look like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say Cowboys fans.
One of the worst. The Cowboys suck too. Trust me. If you want me to list another one, the Cowboys fans are right up there.
I will say I think Red Sox fans are worse than Celtics fans because they're far more racist.
They're more racist, but they're less delusional. Like Celtics fans, I don't think I sometimes question whether or not Celtics fans are watching the same sport as me. They make no sense.
I play the bit as a delusional Celtics fan, but usually I'm a rather realist.
Yeah, that's what I do with the Cowboys. I'm just doing.
Yeah, Josh, you just played the bit.
You're just doing the bit.
Well, to be fair, Tone is a bit. So I mean,
yes,
it's fair.
Yes, Tone is a huge.
Does have a bit, but that doesn't excuse him from the fact that he is still a delusional Cowboys fan outside of the bit.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I just think the issue in execution with the sequel trilogy was the lack of a roadmap. I think we were headed in such a cool and interesting and different direction after The Last Jedi. And yeah, they just squandered it. And squandered it so much that it ended up affecting not only the sequel trilogy, but the rest of the entirety of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Is now negatively affected because of episode 9.
I think my 3 is, and honestly, this was my number 2, and I rewatched it when they first came back onto Disney Plus, and I was like, damn, this shit's slow. Like, A New Hope is really slow. Like, at points in the beginning there, the first hour of the movie, I was just sitting there watching it, and it's great because nostalgia. It's the first one I've ever seen. This is cool. It's fun. Whatever. I'm just like, damn. Are they gonna do anything? Who is this guy? What is happening? I thought it was whatever.
It does. The movie does get off to a bit of a slow start. I mean, it's
Yes.
it's not even like Josh is saying it as a slight in the movie. He clearly has it listed as number 3. Like,
Yeah.
and I have
that's just
I have it as number 2. By the way,
okay.
I can agree with that. The movie does kind of
It just starts slow. Like that's the only reason that put it lower for me. Like it was
takes a bit to get into it.
Yeah.
And I've talked about a long time that the reason that one of Luke Skywalker's arc is one of my favorite arcs in cinematic history is because of how terrible a character he was in the first half of A New Hope. Like, not just like meant to hate him, but like a poorly written character in the like the first half of the movie.
Like that rewatch took place with my girlfriend. She fell asleep. I'm showing her Star Wars. She had never seen it. I'm like, this is it. This is the big thing. And I couldn't blame her. I was like, no, like it gets better.
It does get better.
Like,
it gets a lot better. A lot.
Like, all right, you're going.
My number 3 is Force Awakens. I loved The Force Awakens when it came out. I still love The Force Awakens. And it goes into something Nunez mentioned earlier. I love that Rey's backstory was a secret. I thought it was awesome between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi where we were like, we don't know anything about this girl. And then part of the reason I love The Last Jedi is because Rian Johnson had the balls to be like, she's a nobody.
Exactly. So this is my point. This is what I want. I know you about this. And I agree with you. I just wish at some point, and this is the problem is that, again, had we continued down Rian Johnson's path, we would have just left it as her parents don't fucking matter. Let's move on.
And I really liked that. And they
but
9, but I'm separating that from these two films.
But bringing
couldn't just let it
when they reintroduce it as like, oh, never mind, they're not nobodies, or they were, but because they chose to be, and we're still gonna keep it a secret until the end of this next movie. It's just, this is supposed to be our main character. What are we doing? But yeah, no, I do think it's effective in.
They just couldn't let it not be friggin' Destiny. Had to be Destiny.
Had to be fucking family. What is this?
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious movies? What the hell's going on here? Next thing I know, Vin Diesel's gonna pop up in the next Star Wars movie. Like, family was everything.
Wait. One of my favorite parts about the Nobody movie is the Fast and the Furious trailer at the beginning. I had so much fun laughing at that movie in the trailer that the couple, there was one other person in the Oswego Theater. It was a couple. They were laughing at us, They just kept looking over, laughing at us. Dude, when John Cena comes on or whatever, and I forget, Michelle, I think is her name in the movies, when she's like, no, that's not, he's Dom's brother. And we looked at each other like, what the fuck? He's his brother out of nowhere. At one point, John Cena tackles him off like a 40-foot building onto cement. And I'm like, they're dead. They just died. That movie was stupid. I can't wait to watch it. I was like, I gotta watch 8. I didn't see 8.
Those movies hit a sweet spot. 5 and 6 are like the only two Fast and Furious movies I actually like.
I like
it's pretty good. I like 5.
Because like
5
the
is
first
awesome.
one
I
was
also like
bad street racing, stupid movies from the early 2000s that weren't very good. And then like they said, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna make it a really big, dumb heist movie.
Yes.
And 5 and 6 happened, and they're a lot of fun. And then they were like, you know what? It's time to jump the shark. We're taking it, and we're going to fucking space. Apparently.
Well, yeah. Wait a second. In 7, doesn't that dude die that comes back in this one?
Oh yeah,
Big
dead.
He's dead.
And then they had the spin-off movie with The Rock and Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw is fun. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a great movie, but it's fun.
Mark goes, hey, you watch your goddamn mouth when you're talking about The Rock and Jason Statham. How dare you?
But anyway, back to my original point.
Sorry.
I really like The Force Awakens. I think I'm gonna be honest. I cried like a baby when that lightsaber went through. I was one of my favorite characters in the history of movies just died in front of my face. Like I was a mess. But
Can we title this episode "The Mark's a Bitch"?
Yeah, go for it.
He's a bitch. No,
I admit when I cry at movies, and that was one of them.
I cried at the Cat in the Hat, dude. It's all right.
The Mike Myers one?
Yep.
What is
100%. When
You
he's
cry from
leaving at the
fear?
end, when they kick him out. No, I was sad for the cat. When they kick him out at the end and they're like, "We hate you, cat. Nobody loves you." I'm like, why do they hate the cat? He's just fun. Yeah. I broke down.
But yeah, I think Force Awakens was really well executed. I don't care if people say it's a carbon copy of A New Hope.
I'm not buying that shit. I mean, like, all three of the Star Wars arcs are exactly the same. Like,
Yes,
the
they
prequel
are.
arc, the original arc and the sequel arc are the same fucking story.
Yeah.
I'm not buying this whole like, oh, now we're gonna be like, ooh, let's be original. No, we're not gonna do that because the prequels
Make
weren't
the same
original.
movie.
And then when Episode 8 comes out and that is an original movie, you want to throw a bitch fit. All right, I'm not buying this. I'm gonna stop talking because I
Just
hate
do what
Star
you did.
Wars
It sells.
for this exact reason.
All right, so on to number 2. Nunez, yours is A New Hope, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it is.
Mine. This is where I'll slot in Revenge of the Sith. I love Obi-Wan with all of my fiber. He's probably my favorite character throughout all of it. We're second.
Not a bad choice. Revenge of the Sith is a legitimately good movie.
Yeah, so that's my number 2 here. You guys say the more technical stuff. I just say what I like to watch.
Mine is Empire. Yeah, that's
Look at Josh.
this is
I see.
this is where it gets into. This is a 99 out of 100 for me, and A New Hope is a perfect movie for me. I love Empire. I don't think it has any legitimate flaws
Well, if
outside
it
of.
didn't have any legitimate flaws, you would have given it a 100 instead.
I was about to say
Outside of
I think the Han and Carbonite thing is a little dumb.
Oh, he just loves Han too much. You bet.
No, but no, it's just a thing they had to do because they didn't think they would have him for the third movie.
Yes.
And so, like, I get that they had to do it, but at the same time, I'm just sort of like, that's the only part of the movie I have a slight problem with.
Yeah.
And it also leads to one of the best moments in Star Wars history, though. So it's not like I hate it, with the whole "I love you, I know" thing. Like, it's one of the most recognizable moments from Star Wars.
That was another part of Rise of Skywalker that was good, by the way. When they did that bit at the very end,
Yeah.
Han and Kyle looks like he's like trying to say I love you, and he just goes, I know.
Yeah.
That shit was good. Too bad the rest of the movie fucking sucked.
But I think Empire's fantastic, but I completely disagree with the two. I think A New Hope is a perfect movie.
You don't think it's slow at all in that first hour?
I think it's meant to be. I disagree with Zack completely where he says for the first half of the movie, Luke is a poorly written character. I think he was written that way on purpose.
To be a
great.
ditzy.
I mean, a lot of things are written on purpose and are still bad. Like,
well, no, but I mean, like, I think you're meant to be like, who is this annoying prick?
No. I said that. I was like, that's the point of the arc.
Yeah, and I think it works perfectly. I don't think there's a single misstep in that movie. It's just, I love A New Hope. It's like top 3 movie all time for me.
I think this on some level, the point of liking Empire Strikes Back more is that not enough movies let the bad guy win, especially not enough children's movies. Like literally like fun, playful movies don't often enough let the guy who's just gonna blow up a fucking planet win. Those guys, and so I like 5 the most because I mean the bad guys do win. It's like the ultimate cliffhanger. You're right. Han's in a batch. The Empire has won. Vader is strong. I mean, it's everything. It's everything. They're in their prime. Like you're like, well, how are they ever gonna beat him? It sets up the ultimate win in 6 again, which
the only cinematic equivalent I can think of to like the end of Empire Strikes Back in terms of like the feeling that you get at the end of it is Avengers Infinity War. Like it's the same thing at the end of Infinity War. Like Thanos fucking won.
Yeah.
What the hell? The Avengers are fucked, dog. Like,
well, yeah, because especially like you just anticipate the entire movie as you're thinking, how is Luke and them going to win? How do they win? How do they win? How do they come out on this? And then they don't. just like in Avengers, when you're like, oh, so who kills him? And he doesn't. And you're like, that was fucking sad. I was just duped. I was duped. I feel every time I watch, I love Empire Strikes Back.
I mean, like I said, it's a 99 out of 100. Like I love it so much. I also think it would be 100 if I got to see it in 1980.
That's fair.
Because it was so spoiled for me before going in.
Yeah.
It's one of the most referenced things in pop culture is I Am Your Father.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
And so there was no surprise for me going in. You knew he said that. You knew the good guy lost. And that's obviously not an indictment on the movie itself. That's an indictment on the fact that I watched it when I was 5 and I had already had it spoiled for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an underrated thing. Not knowing the biggest spoiler, or knowing the biggest spoiler in movie history, probably going into a movie. That probably brings it down a bit on the.
Yeah, so that's another thing where, when I think about Empire, and I think the rewatch value on the first two is infinite. I seriously could watch A New Hope and Empire every week for the rest of my life and never get tired of those movies. Like, ever. But that's another thing where I'm just like, if I saw this in the theater in 1980, this would be the best movie I've ever seen. Just plain and simple.
I'm also one of those, like, I could do like the Yoda thing in the swamp is a little much, but it's the first time they did that, so I'm okay with it.
I love that. I love that.
I love all the Dagobah stuff.
Yeah, the Dagobah stuff is awesome.
It's one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like all the stuff with like Luke training in Dagobah is one of my favorite parts of the entire saga.
My favorite single shot in that movie is with when he sees the vision of Vader and when you see the head on the ground and it's Luke. Mm-hmm. Like in the helmet. That is my single favorite shot in that movie. I think that entire stuff is perfect, or that entire bit is perfect to me. But yeah, man, I seriously could watch A New Hope every day the rest of my life and never get tired of it. I love that movie so much. I think it's a little slow, but I think it's completely intentional, and I think it really works for the payoff at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about old Ben that really turns me on, so I get that.
Well, all right.
Listen, just Alec Guinness is a fantastic actor, and he hated Star Wars. So
did he really?
Oh yeah, he thought it was going to be so bad. He hated every second of being on set. He did it just for a paycheck, and it's the role most people recognize him for. This Oscar-winning Shakespearean British actor is most well known.
What the hell does bum do?
Bridge on the River Kwai, which is a fantastic movie.
All right, before we get out of here,
Bridge on the River,
I got a trivia question that was just sent to me by
Luke's a whiny baby.
Basketball question. Anthony Edwards just set the record for most threes in a month by a rookie. 44 threes in the month of April. Who held the record previously? Current player.
I could have guessed that.
And he does not play on the team that he did when he was a rookie. I'll give you each like 2 guesses because it's going to be a deep cut.
It's a deep cut?
Danny Green.
No, I will say that he has already switched conferences and he's not a very old player.
Joe Harris?
Nope.
Already switched conferences.
Yeah, he was traded.
All the guys I'm thinking of have been in one conference.
I think Zach LaVine?
No.
He wasn't a great shooter when he was a rookie. That's a more recent thing.
I just thought I'd trade right. I'm out.
Mark, you get one more guess.
Jordan Clarkson.
No, the answer is Landry Shamet.
Oh. Okay.
I do remember Landry Shamet being a super sniper when he played for the Clippers his rookie year.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. So Landry Shamet, previous record at 43. Anthony Edwards set the record with 44. That does it for episode 27 of the Hot Stove Podcast, where we talked about Star Wars. Expect more movie talk coming soon as we get into the slow season. It's basically the only other thing other than sports that I know how to talk about. So
Yeah, same.
I'm sure we'll talk about, we might do, we'll do some new release reviews maybe.
Yeah,
A full feature on the movie Nobody, starring Bob
We
Odenkirk.
could do, yeah, you guys aren't too big music guys, so I wouldn't say we could do,
well, I love music, but if we're doing like classic album reviews or something like that, I could do that.
we could
but-
do that. We'll have to cook some stuff up here.
All right.
That's for another day. Anyways, before we go, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. That's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube side, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell as well, so you get notifications when we post videos. And make sure to leave a comment if you feel like commenting. For my co-hosts here and Austin, who may or may not be alive, still have no idea. I'm Zach Nunez. This has been episode 27 of the Hot Stove Podcast. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Peace.